India's global voice, the channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide. Because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia-Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION. World is one. From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening. As we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Gravitas with me, Molly Gambhir. Let's get started. Our top focus tonight on Gravitas. China has officially commissioned its most advanced aircraft carrier yet, also revealing a new drone carrier. Tonight, we decode the messaging coming in from China and the bigger picture, how China is challenging US sea power supremacy. That's coming up in just a bit. Also on the show for you tonight, as the US dollar sinks, recession fears grip the economy, we assess where things stand and the impact of the US government shutdown. Also telling you how and why the US is preparing to deploy troops at an airbase in Damascus. All this and more coming up. China is flexing its sea power like never before. It has officially commissioned its most advanced aircraft carrier yet, the Fujian, a colossal warship that marks a leap in China's military modernization. Alongside this, China has also unveiled a new drone carrier in a message to the world that the future of warfare at sea may no longer depend on ships and sailors, but also on machines. The Fujian is China's third and most formidable aircraft carrier. It was commissioned this week in Henan, the island that faces Taiwan, in a ceremony personally presided over by the Chinese president, named after the province across the Taiwan Strait. The Fujian is a symbol of both technological ambition and also political intent. This is not a refurbished Soviet ship, unlike China's first carrier, the Liaoning, or its second, the Shandong. Let's just break this down for you. The Fujian is designed and built by China's State Shipbuilding Corporation, with technology rivaling America's latest and most advanced carriers. It is the first Chinese carrier equipped with electromagnetic catapults, a revolutionary launch system that replaces traditional steam catapults. This system allows aircraft to take off with less stress on the frame and makes it possible to launch both light and heavy planes with remarkable precision. Experts say the Fujian could become the operational blueprint for all of China's future supercarriers. But then there's more than just military pride at play here. The timing of this launch comes as Xi Jinping's sweeping military purge continues, with several top naval and defense officials under investigation or missing from public view. Even the Navy commander and the shipbuilding chief were notably absent from Fujian's commissioning ceremony. Despite internal upheaval, the Fujian's commissioning sends out a clear external message to Taiwan, to the US, and to every nation in the South China Sea. Even before reaching full operational capability, in fact, its mere presence in contested waters alters the strategic equation in a way. And here on Gravitas, we have been reporting about how China's naval rise has been rather rapid as well as calculated. The country now has the world's largest navy by ship count, and its ambitions are growing deeper, literally. And that then brings us to China's second maritime breakthrough in a way, a vessel smaller, but perhaps even more futuristic. It's being called a drone carrier. China's state broadcaster aired rare footage of a small carrier-like vessel conducting at-sea tests with an uncrewed helicopter designed for shipboard operations. While much smaller than traditional carriers, this ship basically represents something more strategic, a test bed for integrating drones into China's naval fleet. And according to observers, this vessel's open deck design and compact structure make it ideal for testing different uncrewed aircraft, electronic warfare platforms, and also surveillance drones. It is, in a sense, a floating lab for the next phase of naval warfare. And China's broader drone strategy extends well beyond just the seas. Its aviation industry is experimenting with stealth, flying wing combat drones, electronic warfare UAVs, even drone swarms that could support manned fighters in battle. In fact, analysts are saying Beijing's naval drone developments, including the latest ones, could allow China to deploy surveillance and strike assets deep into the Pacific while keeping human pilots far from harm. And this is where China's two projects, the Fujian and the drone carrier, begin to converge. The Fujian represents traditional power projection, fighter jets, catapults, crude dominance. And the drone carrier, it represents technological evolution, unmanned warfare, autonomy, AI-driven missions. And together, they symbolize a navy that's basically preparing to fight in two dimensions at once, above the waves and across networks. And for Washington, this is a direct challenge. The US has long dominated the Pacific with its carrier strike groups, but Beijing's dual strategy now blends quantity with innovation. From catapult-launched stealth jets to drone-assisted fleets, China is building not just ships, but a new kind of sea power. A power that merges traditional naval might with technological disruption. And in doing so, Beijing is basically signaling one message to the world, that the Pacific may no longer be America's alone, from the steel decks of the Fujian to to the humming rotors of uncrewed drones, China's ambitions at sea are no longer a distant vision. They are here and they are sailing right into the world's most contested waters. From the steel decks of the Fujian to the humming rotors of uncrewed drones, they are here and they are sending out this message. At a time when both Russia and the United States are weighing the possibility of resuming nuclear tests, the US and its European allies are reportedly mobilizing on an unprecedented scale against Russian president by deploying next-generation missile systems and AI-powered drone defenses. Russia's defense minister, in fact, reportedly told a meeting chaired by the Russian president that the United States plans to deploy Dark Eagle hypersonic missiles in both Europe and the Asia-Pacific region before the end of this year. A claim that marks a sharp escalation in the West's military footprint. These weapons, capable of carrying both nuclear and non-nuclear conventional warheads, Moscow claims can strike targets up to 5,500 kilometers away. If stationed in Germany, Moscow claims these missiles could reach central Russia in as little as 6 to 7 minutes, a capability that raises the stakes for both sides. And it's important to note here that according to the US, Dark Eagle missiles have a range of around 2,700 kilometers. The Russian defense minister also claimed that last month, US forces carried out a large-scale military exercise that included a simulated preemptive nuclear strike on Russian territory. And at the same time, several NATO members in Europe are racing to build what some officials are calling an AI-powered drone wall. The effort basically follows a series of unexplained drone incursions that have violated NATO airspace, especially in recent months. Poland and Romania are now among the first to reportedly deploy the new American-made system, a compact truck-mounted platform that uses artificial intelligence to identify and intercept drones even when communications are jammed. NATO military officials are saying Denmark will also receive the system soon as part of a broader effort to strengthen the alliance's eastern defenses, basically. And for Poland, the urgency of these weapons reportedly became apparent after reports surfaced that around 20 drones allegedly of Russian origin, entered its airspace in early September. The incident forced multi-million-dollar NATO fighter jets into the air to chase down cheap drones costing a fraction of that amount. Similar incursions were later reported in Romania, while drones temporarily grounded flights in major European cities. There have also been sightings near military bases in Belgium and Denmark. While many of the drones' origins remain unconfirmed, the pattern of the incidents has reportedly exposed gaps in Europe's aerial defenses and accelerated investment in low-cost countermeasures. Officials are saying the system can neutralize drones effectively and at a fraction of the cost of deploying advanced fighters like the F-35. As both sides, the West and Russia, continue to modernize their arsenal with hypersonic missiles and AI-powered defenses on one side, and Putin unveiling a new generation of nuclear superweapons meant to cement Russian dominance through the 21st century. On the other hand, the world is watching a new era of military technology unfold amid the heightened tensions similar to those witnessed during the Cold War era. The American job market is flashing blood-red warning signs. Beneath the political turmoil there, a terrifying wave of job cuts accelerating, shattering financial stability, the US dollar sinking, recession fears gripping the economy. Our next report takes a closer look at how the longest shutdown in history in the United States is affecting the pockets of the ordinary Americans.
factories slowing, offices emptying, Wall Street watching in silence. Across the United States, a new wave of job cuts is sweeping through corporate America, and the numbers are staggering. According to a new report by Challenger, Gray and Christmas, employers have announced over 1.1 million layoffs so far this year. This is the highest total for October in over 20 years. Employers added just 42,000 jobs in the month. Tech, retail and manufacturing are leading the fall, but now even healthcare and transport are joining the slide. Analysts say the signs are unmistakable. The US economy under Donald Trump's new administration is flashing classic recession red flags. Growth has slowed, inflation remains sticky, and the dollar has taken a beating in global markets. Americans are pleading for help.
My message to the people in Washington would be just to get it together. We need to all work together. Regardless of whose side we're on, we all need to work together as people, human beings.
We're definitely not political, and we don't believe this should be a political issue. That children are hungry, we should feed them no matter which party you're in.
A US judge has now ordered the Trump administration to fully fund SNAP benefits in November. The government remained shut for the 37th day, and the president asserts that the country needs to be prepared.
And you know, one other thing, our country has to remain very liquid because problems, catastrophes, wars, could be anything. We have to remain liquid. We can't give everything away.
Again, China-US trade tensions and unstable tariff policies under Trump add fuel to the fire. Behind the numbers, the pain feels real. The confluence of factors, soaring job losses, a vulnerable dollar, and political paralysis has created a truly volatile environment. Economists warn that these cracks in the labor market and consumer spending are the exact preconditions for a full-scale recession. The sudden surge in job cuts is an alarm bell, indicating that the world's biggest economy is walking dangerously close to the red line. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
Let's now turn our attention to West Asia, where the United States is preparing to deploy troops at an airbase in Damascus to help oversee a security pact that Washington is brokering between Syria and Israel. American forces will reportedly use the airbase as a headquarters to conduct surveillance, refueling, humanitarian operations, as well as for logistics, with Damascus retaining complete sovereignty over the site. America plans to establish a presence in the Syrian capital, marking another major indication of Syria's strategic realignment in a way towards the United States. And this shift, remember, comes in the aftermath of the fall of former President Bashar al-Assad's regime last year. According to reports, the airbase is located at the gateway to parts of southern Syria, an area expected to become a demilitarized zone under a proposed non-aggression agreement between Syria and Israel. That deal is currently being mediated by the Trump administration. Trump is also set to host Syrian President Ahmad al-Shara at the White House on Monday, marking the first visit by a Syrian head of state to the United States. As per a Reuters report, America intends to use the airbase to help monitor the Israel-Syria accord, with the report further stating that the base's exact name and site have been omitted for security purposes. Pentagon had reportedly expedited plans for the base over the past 2 months and carried out multiple reconnaissance flights in a C-130 transport aircraft to test if the runway is ready for immediate use. It remains unclear when exactly the US troops will be deployed to the site. The latest deployment plans seem to echo 2 other new American military outposts in the region, both tasked with monitoring peace agreements. One is based in Lebanon, overseeing the ceasefire between Hezbollah and Israel, reached last year, and another in Israel that tracks the Trump-era truce between Hamas and Israel. The United States already maintains troops in northeastern Syria, remember, supporting Kurdish-led forces in their campaign against ISIS. In April, the Pentagon said that it would cut that deployment by half to around 1,000 troops. Syrian president has said that in the past that any U.S. military presence must be based on mutual agreement with the new Syrian government, and Syria is also expected to formally join the U.S.-led global coalition against ISIS very soon, reportedly. Washington has been working for months to finalize a security framework between Syria and Israel, two countries that have been bitter adversaries for decades. And the United States had reportedly aimed to announce this agreement during the United Nations General Assembly in September, but negotiations reportedly stalled at the last minute. According to Reuters, Washington is pressuring Damascus to finalize the deal before year's end, and possibly before al-Shara's upcoming visit to the White House. Before we go on any further, a quick look at what else is lined up for you on the show tonight. Does the Russian President Vladimir Putin rock to electropunk? We are telling you why this question is being asked. You don't want to miss this. Also telling you all about China's nationwide push to make marriage easier, faster, and more attractive. All this and more coming up. Someone from South America has landed right in the middle of India's political battlefield. A hairdresser and content creator from Brazil was stunned when her photograph, which was taken years ago reportedly, suddenly flashed across Indian news channels during a press conference by the Congress leader Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi held up her photo while alleging massive voter fraud in the Haryana elections. He claimed the same woman's image appeared 22 times in the voter list of the assembly seat there under names like Seema, Saraswati, Sweetie, Rashmi. In fact, the Congress leader reportedly accused the Election Commission of turning a blind eye, saying the Grand Old Party's landslide victory was converted into a loss through organized manipulation, he claimed. But then here's the twist. That woman in the picture is not from Haryana. She is not even Indian. She is from Brazil. And that image is reportedly a free stock photo titled "Woman Wearing Blue Denim Jacket." Now, the photograph was taken nearly 8 years ago by a Brazilian photographer. It's been downloaded reportedly more than 400,000 times worldwide on several websites. The woman, Larissa, told a Brazilian outlet reportedly that she posed for the picture to help a friend build his portfolio, and she never imagined her face would end up at the heart of a political storm in India. Back in India, that storm is raging during the Bihar Assembly polls, with the Union Minister Kiren Rijiju hitting back at Rahul Gandhi, saying he is, quoting, hiding his failures by raising irrelevant issues, quote unquote. The minister also mocked Rahul Gandhi's timing, questioning why he's talking about Haryana while Bihar is heading to the polls. He says there is nothing left for the Congress member of parliament in Bihar. It's not the first time Rahul Gandhi has raised allegations of what he calls vote chori or ballot theft. He made similar claims, remember, before in Maharashtra and Karnataka. The Election Commission had dismissed those accusations. So far, no probe has been ordered into any of them. From a photo shoot in Brazil to a voter list in Haryana, and how a headline across India, a simple picture has become the face of this controversy. India's Supreme Court has said the pilot cannot be blamed for the Air India plane crash. This was an oral observation by the top court reportedly during a hearing over the June plane crash that took place in Ahmedabad. A Supreme Court bench reportedly was hearing a petition by the father of the commander, Sumit Sabharwal, one of the pilots of the airplane. The 91-year-old has asked the court to order a judicially monitored probe into the accident. The deceased pilot's father, along with the Federation of Indian Pilots, filed a joint plea. They say that the current investigation into the crash by the Union Ministry of Civil Aviation and the DGCA is defective, they claim. The petitioners say that a preliminary report by the government investigative bodies was biased, they say, and they also allege, and it also allegedly hinted at pilot error without considering technical and systemic factors, they claim, which would bring scrutiny to the government agencies themselves. The Supreme Court tried to reassure the late pilot's father. A justice said, I'm quoting, "It's extremely unfortunate, this crash, but you should not carry this burden that your son is being blamed. Nobody can blame him for anything," quote unquote. Now, the petitioners insisted on a fresh independent probe. They cited a report by the Wall Street Journal, which also suggested pilot error. The report cited an unnamed Indian government source, reportedly. The Supreme Court once again reassured the 91-year-old petitioner, saying, quoting, "That is nasty reporting. No one in India believes it was the pilot's fault." Now, the Supreme Court has reportedly taken note of the petition for an independent inquiry. It has issued a notice to the Indian government saying that the matter will be taken up on the 10th of November. On to France now. It's facing renewed debate over secularism and religious symbols after schoolgirls wearing hijabs visited the National Assembly. Right-wing politicians, including National Rally President, condemned the visit, with Bardella saying that if his party ever comes to power, such attire would be banned nationwide. While hijabs are already prohibited in French public schools, they remain permitted elsewhere. Unlike niqabs, which cover the entire face and are banned in public places, hijabs, in contrast, cover only the hair and leave the face visible. The Assembly President condemned what she described as ostentatious religious symbols in the galleries. She said it was unacceptable for children to wear such signs in the very chamber where France's 2004 law on secularism in schools was passed. Also adding that authorities must exercise vigilance to ensure such situations do not occur again. She called it a matter of Republican consistency. However, critics argue her response misinterprets France's principle of secularism. The Green Party leader, meanwhile, accused authorities of Islamophobia, noting that the Assembly's ushers are strict and would not have allowed the girls to enter if it had been explicitly forbidden. In fact, left-wing member of parliament said that that the person had exposed the visiting students to attacks from the far right and the press. She also criticized the growing influence of far-right narratives in public debate. Some observers also pointed to a perceived double standard, noting that men have been seen wearing Jewish skull caps in the assembly corridors without controversy, and according to the assembly rules, visitors must dress appropriately, remain seated and stay silent while observing debates. But wearing religious clothing is not explicitly prohibited. What began as a simple school visit has sparked a heated national conversation about secularism, religious freedom, equality. It highlights the ongoing tension, in a way, in the country over the boundaries of faith and state. Does the Russian president rock to electropunk? In fact, the Russian president reportedly received a rather unexpected gift, a double vinyl album called The Sound of Eurasia, an electropunk and rap compilation meant to celebrate Russia's ethnic diversity. The album reportedly features tracks from Europe's only Buddhist region and Tuva, a region in Siberia known for its tradition of throat singing, reportedly. Putin was gifted the record by a member of the Kremlin's Ethnic Relations Council, who said the double vinyl contains the best songs of Russia's ethnic groups in completely modern styles, including electropunk. Now, here's why this is interesting. It's believed to be the first time that the word electropunk, that was, in fact, a genre born in New York in the 1970s, has ever been uttered within the Kremlin's walls. As for Putin's response, he simply said, thank you very much. The album, released apparently with the support of the Russian state, also features music from Evenk and Mariel regions, with over 180 ethnic groups across 11 time zones, reportedly. The Kremlin says projects like this aim to celebrate unity through diversity. The double album also arrives at a time when regions like Tuva and Buryatia have been in national headlines, both for their unique cultural heritage and for the large number of soldiers contributing to Russia's war effort in Ukraine. Putin, who is known to appreciate traditional and patriotic music, is also reportedly a fan of the Russian rock band, a group whose songs often feature themes of heroism and national pride. The band's lead singer, meanwhile, is a member of the ruling United Russia Party and has reportedly performed at several state-sponsored events. For now, whether or not Putin will actually spin the sound of Eurasia on his record player is anyone's guess. But one thing is certain, the Kremlin just added a new beat to its playlist in a way, and this time it sounds a little more electropunk. In a scene straight out of sci-fi meets Wall Street in a way, Elon Musk danced with a robot moments after securing the world's biggest pay deal, a $1 trillion package approved by Tesla shareholders. The man who wants to colonize Mars has officially become the costliest employee in human history and the first trillionaire of our planet.
The music blared, lights flashed, and there was Elon Musk swaying beside Tesla's humanoid robot, Optimus, celebrating a payday so large it's rewriting the record books. A $1 trillion pay package, tying Musk to Tesla for another decade, has now been approved, ending months of investor debate. The 12-0 pay package is linked to a decade of daring promises and relentless innovation. The package isn't a simple salary, it's stock-based, meaning he'll only cash in if Tesla's market value keeps soaring. But if it does, he becomes the world's first trillionaire, a title never before seen in capitalism's wild climb. Musk has emerged as a lightning rod figure, in part due to his embrace of right-wing politicians, including President Donald Trump.
I think he's fantastic. I think Elon is a fantastic guy.
The Tesla $1 trillion pay package is the latest demonstration of the entrepreneurial billionaire's resonance with investors. Musk, with a net worth of more than $500 billion, is already the world's richest person. Now with $1 trillion, he could literally buy everything money can buy. For example, he can buy every single car sold in the United States this year. He can own 333 super tall skyscrapers. If he wants, he can also buy 2,000 super luxury yachts, which are priced at about $25 million per boat. If he chooses to distribute his wealth, every American can get about $12,900. Interestingly, he can also buy a pack of 12-pack of Coke to each and every 8.2 billion humans on the planet. A $1 trillion deal, a robotic dance, and a man whose wealth can only make ordinary mortal dream of. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
Our next story is both disturbing and shocking, let's warn you. It's about a palliative nurse in Germany who has been convicted of the murder of 10 patients. You heard that right. the murder of 10 patients. Someone who was supposed to look after these patients, take care of them, convicted of the murder of these patients with lethal injections. Not just that, and the attempted murder of 27 others. But why would someone do this? If the story already isn't horrific enough, wait till you hear the answer to that question. According to the prosecutors, the nurse injected his mostly elderly patients with painkillers or sedatives to ease his workload at night. Just let that sink in. Let me just repeat that. To ease his workload at night. This is extremely disturbing, to say the least. The nurse has been handed a life sentence by a German court. In fact, the crime was found to be particularly severe, meaning the nurse has little chance of being released after 15 years, the minimum time that can be served for a life sentence in Germany. The nurse committed the crimes between December 2023 and May 2024 at a clinic. The verdict can be appealed. According to German media, investigators are looking at several other suspicious incidents during the nurse's career. In fact, in the worst killing spree in Germany's post-war history, a former nurse was jailed in 2019 for life for murdering 85 of his patients. Shifting focus to China, as it continues to grapple with the demographic crisis, it has rolled out a nationwide push to make marriage easier, faster, and more attractive. Authorities have introduced reforms to encourage couples to marry, including a major rule change that basically allows people to register their marriages anywhere in the country, not just in their hometowns. The new policy, introduced in May this year, aims to make the process more convenient and to turn marriage into a more memorable experience. Since then, cities across China have been competing to attract what is being called as marriage tourists. Local governments have reportedly set up registration offices in rather unusual places, from ancient temples and scenic mountainsides to subway stations, even shopping malls. Some couples are now reportedly exchanging vows in Ming Dynasty-themed temples, while others are choosing breathtaking backdrops near snow-capped mountains over 9,000 feet high. In Shanghai, newlyweds can even collect their marriage certificate at a nightclub after completing their paperwork. Couples said the new policy did not necessarily expedite their plans to get married, but conceded that it has made the process far more convenient. Listen to this.
I think it's not exactly that this government policy has fast-tracked our plans to get married. It has rather made the process of getting married much more convenient.
Chinese officials say the goal is to make weddings feel special, and early signs show it may be working. According to government data, marriages jumped 22.5% in the third quarter of 2025 compared to the same period last year. That is nearly 1.61 million marriages, a rare increase after more than a decade of steady decline. Last year, in fact, the number of marriages had plunged by more than 20% to a record low of 6.1 million. Experts warn that this spike might not last long, especially given that China's overall population continues to shrink. Still, by taking marriage out of government offices and into temples, mountains, music festivals, China hopes to increase the country's birth rate one marriage at a time. Moving on for now. While scrolling through Instagram or Facebook, have you come across a curious new trend? Short dramas, soap opera style fiction that pulls you in with plot lines and story twists. They are sometimes addictive. They look like snippets from a movie or a TV serial or a soap opera, only they are not meant for TV or the big screen. On the contrary, they are made for small screens, specifically your phone screen. And this, in a way, is the future of entertainment. They are calling it vertical dramas. Short, snappy, often just 60 seconds long. Vertical dramas are designed for your specific algorithm on social media, designed for the shrinking attention spans in a world that's always online in a way. A new genre of storytelling has surfaced. Vertical dramas emerged in China in the 2010s, initially shot by amateurs and shared on TikTok. Soon, big companies swept in, recognizing the potential for rapid financial returns when hastily produced micro-dramas go viral. Since 2023, Chinese-run platforms with names like Real Short, Drama Box have set up shop around Los Angeles, hiring thousands of talented filmmakers and actors left short of work by Hollywood's persistent belt tightening.
I keep describing vertical as soap opera in a nutshell, or soap opera in cocaine. Yeah, we're so fast. Every second there's a story happening.
I think that it is the future, and it is the future that is happening right now, right here, and it's good to jump on this train right now.
Budgets of just a few $100,000, breakneck filming schedules. The format from China is radically changing and, according to some, saving a struggling industry.
Right now, it feels like this is the future of the way that people are getting dramatic content, right? So I think many actors and many people in Hollywood, and on both coasts, I should say, are kind of waking up to how awesome this format is, and how many different types of stories you can tell, and I think it's very exciting.
Say they are not competing with. They say that they are competing with platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Each installment, despite being barely a minute long, must contain its own emotional twist to keep the viewers hooked on these platforms. Production frequently begins before screenplays are completed. Many scripts are translated from existing Chinese hits reportedly, and AI is sometimes used to generate ideas, help with storyboards, visuals, animations, even soundtracks. Humans step in for editing and voice acting.
Some people use AI simply because it's more cost-effective, while others simply say they want to shoot with real people because it's more real. Even now, many directors still insist on shooting on film instead of digital cameras. It's just a choice. But will they replace each other? I don't think so. Maybe it's who will win and who will decline after these two sides fight each other.
One of the most popular AI-generated series is Strange Mirror of Mountains and Seas. A whirlwind of dragons, heroes, high melodrama. Almost everything you see is created by AI, reportedly. Fans are loving it, watching without thinking too much about logical inconsistencies. Even film schools are jumping on the trend.
It's so accessible. It lowers the cost of production so much. It makes everything so much faster. So for us, it's a question of AI. There's two different types of AI workflow that we have. One thing is AI final pixel, so what the people will see. That we don't use that much. For us, is AI as part of the pipeline, right? For storyboarding, for helping with the writing. So how to incorporate AI everywhere. This is going to be a tremendous change in the whole industry.
Of course, there are questions about copyright and originality. While AI learns from existing work, some microdramas are reportedly entirely original, based on prompts created from imagination.
Whether AI-generated content has copyright really depends on how much human intelligence was involved in the creation process, or whether it's more reliant on the accidental content that AI produces. So, when submitting evidence, we submitted more of what work we did in the whole creative process and how our prompts were written.
But then here's the thing, the rise of AI microdramas is a glimpse into the future of entertainment. Short, eye-catching, sometimes wild, and all built for the screens we carry in our pockets.
Do you know, like through the last 2 years, while vertical is kind of blooming in Hollywood, a lot of people are in that transition. Like I know a lot of friends, they they know that vertical is giving a lot of their friends jobs, but they're still deciding if I should go into it. And then slowly more and more people are going into this industry because we all have our bills to pay, and then this is paying our bills. And then
Actually, the audience is very ruthless. The most important thing is the content. If they're interested in the content, they don't care what you use to produce it. That's the main point. It's not that it has to be a real human actor or actress. They'll just be attracted to interesting things.
Whether you like it or not, vertical dramas are creeping out from the shadows and changing the way content is made in a way. So this weekend, if you are craving drama, remember the action, the heroes, even the dragons are all just a tap away on your phone. Our next story will sound straight out of a movie. An American recording artist says she accidentally became a royal bride and did not even realize it until after she was separated. This is the story of Brittany Porter, a singer from America who now says she was married to Malaysia, Muhammad V of Kellington, Malaysia, without knowing it. According to Porter, she met the Sultan in New York in January 2024 through mutual friends, and she describes him as intelligent, charming, with a cute British accent, quote unquote, and says that they hit it off instantly. Soon came luxury lavish trips reportedly to Thailand and West Asia, shopping sprees, blue diamonds, designer bags, stays in some of the world's most expensive hotels. Porter reportedly says he probably spent millions on those hotels. And then things changed. In April 2024, during a trip to Oman, the couple took part in a ceremony Porter thought was an engagement. She even went through a conversion ceremony with an imam present. But a year later, reportedly after the Sultan suddenly cut off all contact, she learned that the ceremony was not an engagement, it was a nikah, which is the Islamic marriage ceremony. She had reportedly unknowingly become his wife. Back in Malaysia, everyone addressed her as something which is a royal courtesy title for non-royal women who marry into royalty. Her life changed overnight. New rules, new clothes, and growing tensions. In July, reportedly, she suffered a miscarriage, and by October, the Sultan had blocked her completely, reportedly. When she tried to reach him in Singapore, he refused to see her, reportedly, and his butler apologized, saying the Sultan had already left. Later, Porter heard from a friend that the Sultan had declared them separated. She says that that is when she realized, reportedly, that she had gone from thinking she was a fiancée to learning that she was married and now divorced. She checked her old messages, trying to see if he had issued triple talaq, but found nothing. And now she is demanding a proper divorce and a proper apology. He is the ruler of the Malaysian state of Kellington and formerly served as the 15th king of Malaysia. Porter says she is now turning her heartbreak into music, writing songs about betrayal, confusion, and loss. From whirlwind romance to royal heartbreak, a love story that started in New York, took vows in Oman, and ended in silence across continents. They might already be here, watching, waiting, recording. Leading scientists now believe alien probes could be lurking in our solar system right now. And we've been looking in the wrong places, perhaps. Our next story telling you more.
Is an intelligent life form out there? Are we not alone in this universe? Is Earth being watched from the shadows? Our solar system may not be ours alone. Some astrophysicists now argue that alien machines silent, self-replicating, and smarter than anything we can build could already be roaming the cosmic backyard. New research suggests that sentinels from distant worlds may have slipped into our system, using asteroids and moons as base camps. The evidence: subtle clues, magnetic anomalies, odd isotopes, and even mysterious structures reported on the moon and in the deep asteroid belt. Scientists urge, It's time to comb lunar craters and the Kuiper Belt for techno-signatures. Why would aliens deploy probes instead of broadcasting radio signals? The answer is chilling, survival and stealth. These machines don't need air, food or sleep. They harvest raw materials on the move and may be scattered across our system, quietly watching. The intrigue deepens with every interstellar visitor. The Comet 3I Atlas has shocked astronomers. Its bizarre acceleration and evolving color prompted some to ask, could it be a probe? New photos have set social media ablaze with claims of artificial features and secret signals. SETI researchers are shifting focus from radio signals to forensic hunts for technological relics, a paradigm shift. The moon, long a magnet for conspiracy, is now the prime suspect for an alien lurker. Some scientists believe probes may leave faint footprints, concentrations of rare metals, reactor byproducts, even magnetic shadows that don't belong. Bureau report, WION World is one.
India is marking the 150th year of Vande Mataram, the country's national song. Vande Mataram singing events held nationwide and are being held nationwide from November 7 to 26, coinciding with Constitution Day. Prime Minister Modi, the President, other leaders paid tributes to the national song, highlighting its enduring message of unity. As an event commemorating 150 years of the national song, Prime Minister Modi participated in the singing of the song. The Prime Minister also released a commemorative stamp and coin on the occasion. The program also marks the formal launch of a year-long nationwide commemoration. Speaking about the emotional and cultural power of the national song, Prime Minister Modi said important lines were dropped from it in 1937, and this sowed the seeds of partition. The Prime Minister described it as a timeless force that unites people across regions and generations, adding that the song embodies the strength and resilience of India.
आजादी की लड़ाई में वंदे मातरम की भावना ने पूरे राष्ट्र को प्रकाशित किया था, लेकिन दुर्भाग्य से 1937 में वंदे मातरम के महत्वपूर्ण पदों को, उसकी आत्मा के एक हिस्से को अलग कर दिया गया था। वंदे मातरम को तोड़ दिया गया था, उसके टुकड़े किए गए थे। वंदे मातरम के इस विभाजन ने देश के विभाजन के बीज भी बो दिए थे।
And as the Indian president paid tributes to the composition, she recalled its origins and influence. She described the song as a proclamation of emotional consciousness and unity and urged citizens to preserve its spirit for generations to come. The Union Home Minister, meanwhile, called it the voice of India's soul. He noted that it united the country during the struggle for independence and continues to ignite the eternal flame of nationalism in the hearts of the countrymen. Vande Mataram is an ode to the motherland. It inspired India's freedom movement. The song first appeared in the literary journal as part of Chattopadhyay's novel. Rabindranath Tagore sang it at the 1896 Congress session. In 1950, it was adopted as India's national song. Even after 150 years, the song continues to evoke unity, pride, patriotism among Indians. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Gravitas Tonight. This is me, Molly Gambhir, signing off. Thanks very much for watching. Have a good weekend.
As big Hollywood films fail to draw viewers to cinema halls, take a look at the box office report card of the recent months.
Message from Morgan. He's cuter than I expected.
Know why viewers are returning to the first season of Nobody Wants This.
Hi, this is Ayushmann Khurrana.
And meet Indian actor Ayushmann Khurrana. All this and much more with me, Diksha Bisla, on WION at these times.
From the bustling trading floors of Wall Street to the vibrant exchanges of Asian stock markets, WION breaks it down for you to make sense of what's happening, as we reveal the key factors behind events, strategic battles, and the game-changing business decisions that shape the world. We bring you all of this and more on World Business Watch.
Gaza's ceasefire holds, but no end to the misery of Gazans. In West Bank, Israeli strikes and settler attacks continue. Khamenei dares Trump, says stop interfering in Iran's matters, and doubles down on nuclear red line. Saudi Arabia to acquire American F-35, a deal that could rewrite the region's power balance.
Watch the West Asia Post with me, Radi Francis, only on WION. World is one.
Winter has arrived under the northern lights. An EV and a radar are saving lives on the Arctic ice. On the edge of the Milky Way, 3i Atlas is on its way. We're sending a gold disk in its wake for any life form out there in a galaxy far, far away. Catch all these stories and more this week on Tech It Out, only on WION at these times.
WION, India's global voice, the channel that brings you the biggest stories from across the world through India's lens. Now available in more than 190 countries worldwide, because we believe that the world is one. Watch us in Africa, Europe, USA and Canada, South America, Asia Pacific, Middle East and North African regions. Also available on these digital platforms across the world. WION. World is one.
Another deadly earthquake rocks Afghanistan. Why is a South Asian nation prone to so many quakes?